Welcome to Albany. We are so happy that you are joining us here at this university. In this video, we just want to talk about well-being, what that looks like, and what it could like in your day-to-day life, and then transition into talking about the health and well-being resources here at Albany that will support you through your transition to college, as well as furthermore past that. First thing I want you to think about is, what does well-being mean to you, and what does it look like? What is well-being? Well-being encompasses quality of life as well as the ability of people and societies to contribute to the world in accordance with the sense of meaning and purpose. Focusing on well-being supports the tracking of equitable distribution of resources, overall thriving, and sustainability. Society's well-being can be observed by the extent to which they are resilient, build capacity for action, and are prepared to transcend challenges. This definition is from the World Health Organization, and it covers the holistic view of well-being. But if you wanted to track well-being on a much more simpler scale, there are also 8 dimensions of well-being that you could pay attention to when navigating your day-to-day life. Let's talk about them. So as you can see on the screen, there are 8 dimensions of well-being, and I'll give a brief definition of which each one consists of. Emotional well-being. Emotional well-being encompasses the knowledge and skills to identify personal feelings and the ability to handle those emotions. It's the ability to successfully handle life stresses and adapt to change in difficult times. Physical well-being encompasses all areas of health that relate to physical aspects of the body, including nutrition, exercise, weight management, disease prevention, and more. Occupational well-being encompasses all aspects of well-being pertaining to personal satisfaction in your job or your career. Social well-being encompasses all aspects of well-being pertaining to social connections, relationships, and personal expression. Spiritual well-being encompasses all aspects of well-being pertaining to the search for purpose and meaning in life. This may include the belief in a higher power, but spiritual wellness does not have to be aligned with a religion. Intellectual well-being encompasses all aspects of well-being pertaining to brain health and growth via thought-provoking mental activities. Environmental well-being encompasses all areas of health that relate to the environment, and in turn, how the environment can impact human health. Environmental well-being includes eco-friendly considerations, active participation in recycling, and proper disposal of electronics and medicine, energy, fuel, and many more things. And lastly, financial well-being encompasses all aspects of well-being pertaining to finances, including knowledge and skills of financial planning and managing expenses. So as you can see, this is a lot more specific in terms of how you can navigate your well-being on a day-to-day basis. So you might be wondering, how can I keep track of these things when I'm navigating through my collegiate career as a student? I know it seems it could be very stressful to think about all these things and then think about academics as well. But don't worry, got something here for you to look at. The wellness wheel. So as you can see on the wheel, it's broken down into those 8 subcategories. And each subcategory has a specific definition that talks about what that specific subcategory is focused on. So while you're navigating through school, what you could do is create this wheel and number it from 1 to 10. And based on how you're feeling at that time, you can put the scale of each category that you feel best fits you in that moment. And then you could spend some time away, come back, reconnect with it, and continue to track your progress in terms of your wellness while you're here at the university. Some questions to think about when navigating wellness or this wellness field is what feels important to you. Maybe it's social wellness, being able to connect with others. Maybe it's your career, your job, you want to think about what exactly is important to you. Then you also want to think about what areas do you find yourself thriving in. Maybe you're really good with your emotions. So that's something that could be an 8 for you in emotional wellness. Maybe you really are focused on your health, focused on your physical wellness, recognizing the need for physical activity, diet, sleep, nutrition. So that's something that you would put high as well. Then you also want to think about what areas do you find yourself struggling in. Maybe you don't like your career path at the moment. Maybe you're not satisfied with your financial wellness or your spiritual wellness. No, it varies from person to person, but it's important to realize what these things look like in your day-to-day life so that you can ask yourself the last question, which is, are there any realistic steps I can take to better tend to any of these areas? Because at the university, what's most important is your quality of life while going through the stages of being a student. So this is something for you to take with you as you begin to enter the university, and something to think about even further past your time here at the university. Lastly, just want to remind you, you are not alone. At any moment you feel like you need help, there are lots of resources here at the university to help you. And our hope is that we can get you everything that you need to be successful as a student. Now, we're going to talk about some of the health and well-being resources at UOpenE that you could potentially tap into if necessary. First one we'll talk about is counseling and psychological services, also known as CAPS. So what does CAPS do? CAPS services for students includes brief focused individual counseling, couples counseling, group counseling, psychiatry, psychological testing, 24/7 consultation, and then many other workshops that are present on campus and webinars that are present online. We also have the ability in CAPS to do referrals. So let's say maybe you need help that is not within the means of the campus. There are many trusted organizations that work with you openly that ensure that students can get the help that they need if they can't get it here on campus. When should you seek help? As you can see on the screen, there's about 12 reasons why you should seek help. There's sleep problems, missing classes or other activities, low energy, interest, or mood, feeling worried, sad, or hopeless, struggling in class, adjustment issues, heavy use of alcohol and drugs, grief and loss, experiencing unusual things, homesickness, loneliness, relationship issues. As you can see, CAPS is here for you in a wide capacity. So if any of these things are something that is bothering you while you're here as a student, contact CAPS and they'll be able to help you in the capacity that you need or direct you to the services that you feel are best for you. So how could you make an appointment with CAPS? There are 3 ways. You can call, you can schedule online, or you can email. All appointments at CAPS are paid by the student health fee. And before you go in for an appointment, there's a brief phone screening where you can talk about your current concerns, and from there, they'll be able to provide you with options in regards to how you can handle it. However, if it's an urgent situation, ask to speak with a psychologist that can help you in that moment because there are mental health professionals available 24/7 by phone for urgent situations. So if you know that you're in an urgent situation, don't be afraid to say that you need help urgently, as there are people who are prepared to help you make sure that you get the service that you need. Middle Earth, this is the student-led program, which is also surrounded by mental health wellness and prioritizing that on our campus. One thing that Middle Earth specializes in is peer staff hotline. This is for students who maybe don't want to speak with an adult and they want to speak with a peer. Maybe they just need support from another student. This is a awesome thing that has been added because it gives some multi-dimensional help, not only in the office of CAPS, but also within Middle Earth. It's also a student organization on campus, and there's other programming that they do in this. In regard to confidentiality, within CAPS, they only share information with the student's permission. Therefore, if someone is trying to get information based on anything that has happened at CAPS, it will not be shared unless you are okay with it. Information is not part of the academic record, so it will not be alongside your transcript and it will not be accessible among your professors. However, if there's an emergency, then CAPS will share what's necessary to connect you to the right services and make sure that you're getting the adequate help that you need. Next, we'll talk about student health services. Here is a list of student health services that are provided at the university. Treatment of acute illnesses and injuries, episodic care of chronic illnesses, referrals to specialty care, immunizations and travel health advice, gynecologic and sexual health care, and there's also a pharmacy on site. To schedule an appointment at Student Health Services, you have to call the appointment line to schedule. There's telehealth appointments available, and there's also in-person appointments available. And you just have to call to get in contact with them, but you are not allowed to walk in due to the ability to make sure that everyone is getting proper needs and there isn't a big waiting room. To use the pharmacy services, you can open daily to fill prescriptions from student health services clinicians. It's also open daily for over-the-counter meds, so students can walk up to the counter. There's no appointment needed for pharmacy. However, these meds are from prescriptions that are within the student health services. Is there a charge to visit student health services? There's no cost for the visit to student health services. There may only be some fees for certain in-house lab tests such as strep, mono, or pharmacy prescriptions, over-the-counter meds, pharmacy purchases, and durable medical goods. And you won't be charged without your knowing. Fees are discussed with students at the time of visit, and no payments are collected at Student Health Services. Student Health Services is also located under Dutch Quad, and its semester hours are from 9 to 4:30, and its summer and winter hours are from 8 to 3:30, both Monday through Fridays. Now we'll talk about campus recreation. There are two fitness centers in campus, right? The Broadview Fitness Center, formerly known as Southview Arena, and it's located in the Broadview Arena. It's stocked with free weights, machine weights, and cardio machines. There's no additional charge. You just have to bring your UAlbany ID. It's also the Indigenous Fitness Center, which is located in the Quad Tower, and it has the same great equipment as the Broadview Arena Fitness Center. If you're interested in group exercise, we offer a wide variety of classes, including Zumba, TRX, kickboxing, yoga, and insanity. It's usually 25 classes per week. And if you have interest in maybe being an instructor, there's also an instructor training program here on campus. There's no additional charge. Just have to bring your UAlbany ID to enroll in the various programs that we have. Opportunities for student engagement. We have intramural sports, which is student versus student. Some examples of some intramural sports are basketball, flag football, soccer, and many more. However, if you would like to be a little more competitive and play against other institutions, we also have club sports that are available on campus. This consists of maybe traveling, having scheduled practices, and being really involved in a sport that you may have interest or love for. Lastly, also offer employment opportunities. Employ about 100 students during the year for both work study and non-work study, and a variety of positions are from fitness assistants to intramural officials and facility staff. Talk about the Office of Health Promotion as well. The Office of Health Promotion, think of it as a bridge to achieve your wellness as a student and connect you to the right resources and services that will help you achieve your wellness as a student. To highlight some of the things that we have on campus, we answer general questions and provide resources such as condoms, fentanyl testing strips, drug deactivation kits, naloxone, and questions and conversations about general health related topics. We answer any questions. We have any conversations that you could really think about in regards to health. We also offer workshops and trainings such as overdose prevention, recovery ally, sexual violence prevention, mental health promotion, and alcohol and substance use. We also offer peer-to-peer work. So we have peer wellness ambassadors who are on campus to help promote wellness among students and be examples among students. We also have Project Shape, which is centered around sexual health education and having peers that can educate other peers in regard to that. We also have peer wellness coaching, which allows students to serve as mentors to other students who may be seeking that in their journey as a student. We also have the Collegiate Recovery Program, and this is for students who are in recovery, who are thinking about recovery, or who have a loved one in recovery. And some things that we do within the CRP is weekly recovery meetings, recovery navigation, and just community building and social events for people to have a sense of community while they are here. And lastly, we cover survivor advocacy, which is a confidential resource on campus. And we navigate safety planning resources and policies, give education about trauma responses and violence, and support students and coach them while accessing systems of justice in regard to sexual violence. The Office of Health Promotion is located on Seneca Hall, on the Digital Quad in the basement. And that concludes all the health and well-being resources that are here on campus. And I just want to leave this with you. Health and well-being resources are here for you and your success. Do not feel afraid to reach out. And especially if you have any questions on how you can improve or better tend to your well-being and your health, feel free to contact any of the offices that have been provided in this slideshow. And I hope that you have a great first year as you enter this university.